Hey everybody, this is the Greek 169. Um, I Today has been a day where I've been catching up on videos this morning before I have to leave the house, and I realized the more that I watched that I really couldn't leave without saying something um, about the last day or so. Um, I have been so humbled the longer I'm here and what this community is capable of, and how all of us bring so many different things, and together it's uh, magical. It's incredible. And you know uh one extreme to another. I had a terrible day yesterday, and the first video I see when I get home is StogieFarts' video. And he starts it, Doctor, give me the news. I got a strange case of. And I could not stop laughing. I got into bed and I thought about it. And I woke my wife up and she was pissed. And I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't restrain myself. Um, I watched Bruno's video this morning, in homage to old pipe pops, and I don't know what to say other than I quietly wept. Um, Bruno very humbly and very thoughtfully disabled comments, but everyone should really see that video. I know he's got like 10 times more subscribers than me, but on the off chance that there are other new people who don't know him, you should definitely see that video, and I'll put the link in the little, oh, I'm finally doing it, in the little rust bucket or whatever, I don't know what everybody ends up calling it. Amazing, amazing. And, there are a lot of interpretations. What I know is that it was um, so thoughtfully done and so perfect. It was sublime, and was just lovely. Um, I went to the post office yesterday, and there was nobody there except for a young blind woman in front of me, and her dog was paying sort of a fair amount of attention, despite having that "I'm working" sign, "Don't pet me, you chump." So I'm standing back, giving her space and trying to let her dog focus on someone else. And I'm ecstatic. There's one person ahead of me at the post office. They're like tumbleweeds going back and forth. I think you know what I mean. So this woman walks in. I'm not hovering over my packages. I've got over 100 transactions on cigar forums. I know what I'm doing. And I'm sitting there with a package. It's obvious that I'm ready to rock and roll. And this woman walks right in front of me, like I'm invisible. I think we know that's sort of impossible. So I go, "I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me. I am in line." And she gets all shitty with me. And she turns around and she smirks and looks me up and down and goes, "Well, it's hard to tell from where you were standing, and I'm not a mind reader." And I was like, "Okay." Um, I wanted to give the young lady some space, and her dog was sort of weird, and I just said, "Wanted to give the young lady some space, and there was nobody else here, regardless." I am in line, I'm sorry. And she just stood there looking at me, like, with hatred. And, I was like, I don't think so. I said, if you'll excuse me, I am in line and I was here before you. So she just, makes a big production out of exhaling and just turns around like, look, if you're ahead of me, get ahead of me, but I'm not moving. So I have to go in front of her, so I'm practically stooping the blind lady, and which is no big deal because, I've been with a blind woman before, but even more importantly, I don't look at people like that. But anyway, that seemed funnier in my head than when it came out. So a woman walks in behind her, and she makes a big production about going, I guess you have to be a mind reader to come to this post office. And I was like, what is it with this lady? So then she says something else, and I was like, all right, it's time to dispense with this woman. So I turn around and I said, very nicely, with this total like, and scene, I was like totally affect, sort of, not flat, but definitely more in control than she was. I said, if you may recall, I did say I'm sorry and excuse me. And she just went off. I mean, totally unhinged. And the blind woman turned around and said, to her, very obviously, I mean, she could hear that this woman was, to my right. And she turned around and she goes, can't you just drop it? And I was like, and then I went to school. I've been in academia for the last 12 years, and I'm finishing some clinical work for me making this leap into one other career. And the interns were all together, and we were discussing a number of patients and some articles that we had read. And I don't think people were that prepared, but everybody was like questioning my, rationale. And we get with our supervisor, and fucking everybody in my group is like appropriating everything that I said and claiming it as their own. And I was like so stunned, I like couldn't even say anything or do anything. I was just like, it was like no integrity in that room in any way, shape, or form. I was just so disgusted. It gets better. I leave, I end up going to my wife's office, and I'm not really paying attention to what she's saying because I really want to have something to smoke. And it's like she's saying something, and I'm like, Popeye, gotta have some Odyssey, which sounds really good right now. It was like, I reached for that Odyssey yesterday like someone who has a hard day at work grabs a really stiff drink. And I grabbed the Odyssey, cracked it, whatever. So my wife reminds me that we have to go to this Chinese restaurant that is closing after, 35 years. So it takes us 2 hours and 35 minutes to get our food. We were there for 3 hours. And it was this like, I don't know, it was like attrition, or you were on the Titanic hoping you were going to get one of the like lifeboats or something. And as I mentioned, I get home and I see StogieFarts' video, and I was just laughing my ass off. And I guess when I think about this whole thing, and I think about old pipe pops, I think of a couple things. In answer to Jay's question, do things happen for a reason? Yeah, I think they do. And I think there is a silver lining to every circumstance for me, depending on how I look at it. I wasn't married to that woman at the post office. I don't work with her. She's not a friend. I don't know her. I don't have to take anybody else's ideas and pull them off as my own. There was a couple in this restaurant who, for the 3 hours that we were there, I don't think they said 10 words to each other. And my wife and I were laughing and making jokes and speaking with people at other tables around. I mean, it was sort of a nice time. I'd never do it again, but, what are you going to do? And I'm grateful. I think there's a silver lining to everything if you know where to look. So I got that from all you guys yesterday, and I'm very appreciative of that. And the last thing, Patrick the Pipe, unbeknownst to each other, we both mentioned each other in our videos yesterday. Although his was a little different. He mentioned, patience about, pipes, and then he mentioned my name. And then I noticed there might have been like a hint of sarcasm there. I don't much care for that. I'm the funny guy, not you. Okay? I mean, he's funny, but, if we were like a stand-up routine, I think we know who would be the straight guy, I think you know what I mean. I'm not saying he isn't straight. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's all I got, man. I'm just grateful, holding on, more grateful for this community and people every day. Check out Bruno's homage to old pipe pops. StogieFarts, I assume it goes without saying. And, Patrick, the Pipe, I don't think I need to post links because all those guys have been around here ages and they're wonderful people. Patrick, I rib you about when your pipe's going to show up, only because not only are you someone who I'm really looking forward to having a piece of your artistry, but you're becoming a very good friend. And I'm not rushing you at all, man. Whenever it gets here is all right with me. I made a joke about the metric system and how that associated to, time, and us stupid Americans think that, So, anyway, I'm grateful to all, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.